Hi, I'm Nando Rodriguez, your breakthrough coach, and today it's all about the comparison factor because if you didn't know, now you do. It's human nature to want to look over and see what's going on over there. We do it as humans, and even animals do it. In 2003, there was a study done on monkeys, and these were research monkeys, so they lived at a research center, and two in particular were placed side by side, and they were asked to do a task. And they were both rewarded with slices of cucumber. And they did this task 25 times, right? Over and over again. And every time they did, they'd get a slice of cucumber as a reward. For the experiment, the researchers decided to now reward one of the monkeys doing the same task with a grape instead of a cucumber. OMG. When the other monkey saw that he was getting cucumbers while Ricky in the other cage was getting a grape, he flipped out. He flung his cucumber back out at the researcher and started rattling his cage, basically like, "Where's my grape?" Comparison isn't always bad. It's how we're bridging the gap between the women's pay wage, and many other things have been brought to light because of comparison. But when can it be a bad thing? When it stops you from showing up as the powerful person you are, and when it keeps you from tapping into your resources because you don't feel worthy. And the big haha is when there's an absence of joy in your life. Like, don't you want to be happy? I know you do. Give me a thumbs up. Go ahead if you're wanting to add more joy into your life. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 tips on conquering the residual imposter syndrome you're experiencing that has you comparing yourself to the other women in your life in an unhealthy fashion that's actually stealing your joy. So, interested in learning how to conquer the comparison monster? Number 1, it's not so much what you have to learn, but what you have to unlearn. It's all the messages of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. I had a client do the Wonder Woman pose in the mirror each time she was about to work on a personal project that she was passionate about. In her mind, her project wasn't as big or as powerful as other ones she had seen or heard of, and so the execution was taking quite a bit, and it was all because of the self-doubt. So let me ask you, have you ever had self-doubt sabotage your efforts? Let me know in the comments. All right. Now, her child was autistic and she wanted to create a mommy and me group in her area for other moms dealing with the same things. Now, how brilliant is that? She wanted to bring speakers, provide resources, create support. But the little voice in her head that she heard kept saying, well, who are you to do this? Right? Like fake, fraud, not you. She had to unlearn some of the negative messaging she had grown up with, and it was also being repeated to her in her daily life now from certain people. And so before she would work on her project, I would have her spend at least 3 minutes looking in the mirror. That was my request in the Wonder Woman pose. And in the beginning, she lied to me. She said she was doing it, but when her project was not moving forward, I was like, hey, what's going on? And this took like 3 weeks, right? And finally she jumped on a call and she confessed. She was crying, feeling bad. She had lied and all the feelings of failure. And I told her, stop, just make it up right now. Hang up the phone and go do it. I asked her to just start doing the Wonder Woman pose and not to feel bad. Let go of the guilt. And so she started. And she discovered that doing the pose changed how she felt about herself and her project. And she was totally empowered. What was happening was that the chemicals in her brain were altering, the serotonin, the endorphins. It created the perfect recipe for action. And that's when things started moving in her favor. She stood there saying things like, I'm worth it. I'm fabulous. I'm so smart. I'm generous. And why wouldn't this work out for me? She just repeated those phrases over and over again for 3 minutes, looking in the mirror in Wonder Woman pose. So she basically was rewiring old subconscious messaging. Her project came to fruition 1 week later, and she had her first speaker booked for the second meeting. And so do a check. It's not always having to learn something new, but what is there to unlearn? Number 2, the law of generosity. You're so busy competing and comparing yourself with everyone else, but you forget to be generous. Be generous with yourself and those around you. So I currently have a client that came to me a little lost in the world, as she put it. She was looking around and it looked like everyone else but her had it together. We worked on generosity for herself and on her journey. Now, she's found her passion after only 4 sessions, and she's connected her actual generosity in the world with her passion, love of animals, and is now out in the world raising funds for the planet, corralling celebrity chefs from all around to be part of her vision. She created this on Instagram and in under 1 day had over 200 followers. She has new drive and her spark is back. Before we go on any further, I have to ask you, have you ever compared yourself to other people, co-workers, family, friends? Let me know in the comments and then what you did about it. Number 3, own your vulnerability. All right, stop. Some of you said right now, oh, Nando, I'm out. Hold on, come back. Stay with me a little bit longer, okay? When I was working in PR and advertising, one of our clients, it was my first day at work, experienced one of the most tragic crises on the planet at the time. And it was code red all over the place. There I am on my first day, and right, usually people are telling you like where the water cooler is and where the best place to grab a burrito for lunch is. Not for me. The agency was in full crisis mode. I'm sitting in this meeting and the employee running the account said, I have already spoken to the client. We're owning it. We are not going to spin it. We aren't going to do anything but own it, and we will create a crisis plan from there. And it always stuck with me, right? Like, needless to say, because of her direction, the client turned around their public image, and it stuck with me because she had so much conviction in what she was saying, and I thought, I want to own my stuff like that. Like, the alternative is hiding out, pretending, which adds to the anxiety of feeling like a fraud or being found out, right? Listen, I love Days of Our Lives, the soap opera, but it set me up to lie, hide, and pretend. It took me a long time to unlearn that, and now my go-to is just to own it, which takes vulnerability. What will people say or think of me spins in my head, but I just push it to the side and I move on. It worked for a global crisis, so I know it will work for you when you have to speak up and say something like, yeah, that was me who messed up the copies at work, or I accidentally hashtagged the wrong word, having the entire company think a certain executive was gay. And this leads me to today's nandoism. Be kind to yourself while you're on this journey of transformation. A butterfly doesn't look back at its caterpillar form in disgust. It knows it was part of the journey. So take a moment here, tell me, what's opening up for you? What are you discovering? Leave a comment and let me know. If this video made a difference for you and you discovered or learned something new, share it and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you know when the next one is out, okay? I want to offer you one solution if you're experiencing the anxiety that comes with imposter syndrome, my Supercharger course. It's an online course created to help you supercharge your life. In 45 minutes after watching the 3 solutions, I guarantee you will quickly shift your mood to one that'll keep you motivated, help you achieve your goals, and be empowered. So go become a supercharger in your life. The link is in the description, or just go visit my website, nandoism.com. Guys, I'm Nando, your breakthrough coach, and remember, I'm here to make your life sexier.